Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is the Lollipop and today we have another awesome update to the Trek Marlin lineup. So please welcome the 2024 Trek Marlin 6 Gen 3. This bike has some exciting changes for the new model year, so in this video I'll compare and contrast all of the parts and features of the 2023 Marlin 6 with this new 2024 version, so you can decide which bike is the best for you and your budget. Now, as always, if you haven't seen my video on the 2023 Trek Marlin 6, definitely check that out as well, since I explain a lot of details about the brand new Trek Marlin frame there. But for this video, I'll go over every single detail that has been updated for the Marlin 6 Gen 3 in 2024, and I'll complete this table to highlight all of those changes in one place. So stick around to see these updates, and please consider subscribing to my channel, clicking the bell icon, and liking this video if you enjoy. Okay, quick background first. The Trek Marlins are basically beginner mountain bikes, but they can also be used as more durable commuter bikes, since the frames on these bikes have mounts for a kickstand and for a rear rack. The Marlin 6 is the middle of the range for price and component level, so it's generally a great option to go with for value. For this comparison video, I'm only going to talk about the parts on this bike that have been updated for the new Marlin 6, so if I don't talk about a specific component in this video like the frame or the handlebars, it means that those parts are the exact same ones found on the 2023 version of the bike. The new 2024 Marlin 6 still uses the Gen 3 Marlin frame that the 2023 bike also uses, and I covered all of the fun details on this frame in my 2023 Marlin 6 video mentioned before, so check that out again for those details. But for this comparison, the first difference we have from 2023 to 2024 is the pricing. The 2023 bike is currently retailing for $900 US, while the new bike, similar to the 2024 Marlin 5, which I covered in my previous video, has not officially been released in the United States yet, so I only have the official price in British pounds, but converting it to dollars puts it at around $1,000, which is definitely a lot of money, so I'm not sure if Trek will decrease this price a bit for the US market, since they do typically have varying price amounts in different countries. But moving on to a funner update, we have some really cool color changes. So the 2023 Gen 3 bike comes in 4 different colors as a refresher, which are this hex blue to deep dark blue, matte olive gray, matte Neaster black, and blue sage. The new bike now replaces these with 4 new colors, which are a Miami green to dark aquatic fade, which has some pretty nice ocean themed designs on it, a rage red to deep dark blue fade, a galactic gray to lithium gray fade, and lava, which is a really short name for this color relatively. Okay, next let's talk about the parts. I'm going to get these smaller changes out of the way first, so starting with the brakes, both bikes use the same model of brakes, but the smaller frame size bikes on the 2024 Marlin 6 will now have short reach levers to make them more comfortable and ergonomic. Next, the grips have changed from the more ergonomic XR Endurance Comp grips to the more trail-oriented XR Trail Comp grips that are cylindrical for better control over the bike. And the saddle is also changed from the Bontrager Arvada seat with steel rails to the Bontrager Verse short saddle with stainless steel rails, so that's a nice change to see since the Verse is definitely more comfortable than the Arvada. Okay, but now onto some bigger changes, starting with the suspension fork. So the 2023 Marlin 6 Gen 3 uses an SR Suntour XCT 30 fork that has 30mm wide upper stanchions, uses a coil spring, has a lockout to make the fork fully rigid and thus more efficient in flat areas, and has 100mm of suspension travel. This fork is fairly entry level but does get the job done for beginner mountain biking. The fork on the new bike has pretty much the same specifications in terms of stanchions, travel, and spring type, but it has been upgraded to the RockShox Judy, which has better damping and better construction overall, so it's more reliable than the SR Suntour and provides better comfort. This Judy is the same fork used on the current 2023 Marlin 7 Gen 3, so it's nice to see the Marlin 6 being upgraded a little bit more. The next change is to the tires actually, which is interesting since Trek just released their brand new Bontrager XT3 tires that they spec on the 2023 versions of the Gen 3 Marlins, but now they're switching it up again to the Maxxis Ardent race tires, which is definitely an upgrade since the new tires are now tubeless ready, so you can more easily convert the Marlin 6 to a tubeless setup, and they're also 60 TPI instead of 30 TPI, which just means that the tire is higher quality and more flexible on terrain. They also decreased the width of the tires to 2.35 inches from 2.4 inches to make them just a bit lighter and faster without losing much stability, so overall I think this is a nice change. But it's worth mentioning that in the official pictures of these bikes, they are coming with the XT3 Elite tires from Bontrager, which we actually don't know too much about yet, but they should be pretty similar to the Maxxis ones. But the last big change is to the drivetrain, which has been completely changed out from the Shimano Deore 1x10 drivetrain on the 2023 model to the brand new Shimano Q's U6000 1x10 drivetrain. Both drivetrains have 10 speeds with no front derailleur since there's only one gear in the front crankset, but in terms of differences, the Deore is actually more expensive than the Q's and has a few more features, but Shimano does claim that the Q's drivetrain is 3 times more durable in high chain tension conditions, so we have some benefits and some drawbacks to go over. For the shifters, the Deore shifter allows you to shift up to 3 gears at once when shifting to an easier gear for pedaling uphill, while the new Q's shifter only lets you shift up to 2 gears at a time. Not a huge change, but worth noting. The rear derailleurs are actually pretty similar and have the same features, and the front cranksets have the same amount of teeth on the one gear in the front, so they are similar as well. But the 2024 Marlin does have a better quality FSA crankset, which is the same one found on the 2023 Marlin 7 Gen 3 as well. And for the cassettes, the 2024 bike has a wider gear range and has an easier gear for climbing uphill more efficiently, and is once again more durable, so that's a nice upgrade. It's also worth noting that the Shimano Q's drivetrain is only compatible with Shimano's new Link Glide system, which is supposed to be more durable and reliable than their Hyperglide system on the Deore drivetrain and on other Shimano drivetrains. I don't see a huge difference in the drivetrains, but I think the change is fine since this is the newest Shimano drivetrain and it does seem to be pretty durable for mountain biking, so I'm excited to see how it performs in real life. And lastly, Trek does list the official weights of these bikes on their website. So for a size medium with inner tubes installed, the 2023 bike weighs 32.63 pounds, while the new bike cuts it down a bit to 31.97 pounds. But those are all of the updates and changes to the Trek Marlin 6 for the brand new 2024 bike. Here's the completed table to highlight all of those details. But for my thoughts, I think this bike has some good upgrades to make it even better than before. And although they aren't huge changes, I think they do refine the bike more to make it more appealing to everyone. But I'm also saying that without knowing the official price. If the price stays around the same as the 2023 bike, then this is a great deal and a great bike overall. But if we start going up in price, then these bikes start becoming less of beginner mountain bikes and start entering the intermediate or higher end territory. And I'm kind of worried that there won't be enough lower end Marlins to choose from for beginners or for people on a budget. I know we've seen a lot of inflation and other circumstances that can cause prices to go up, so maybe we just have to deal with this for now, but the bike itself has been improved and looks good. But hey, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you all for watching, liking, and subscribing, and as always, remember to keep biking out there.